always negative. It's supposed to be positive. Affirmations, you know. I heard somebody left a comment. It's a good comment. He was being honest, you know. It's cool. You can leave any comment if you're like sober and sane about it. And I was making fun of the non-duals. Hardly ever do that, but I was. And then he said, yeah, but look, it's better to be a tape recorder than to be like stuck in this feeling that life sucks and everything's suffering, right? It was honest. I could feel the vibration. He was being honest. I wrote back. I don't know if he responded. I don't see usually people, if I respond to you, I don't know if you responded back. Like, you have to leave a fresh comment because, you know how many comments I get? Yeah. I can't, I don't know. So I said, look then. If one doesn't accept the reality of what they're really feeling and what they're really thinking, you have no way of transcending it. You can push something down, you can pretend it's not there, you can try to positive affirmate it away, but it's still going to be there. A lot of this stuff it's on causal level. There's these causal seeds, like it's there. It's there. You can only cover it up for so long. And then life's going to prescribe, because grace is helping you, a situation where you can't like ignore it anymore. You can't play the role of spiritual character anymore. For those who have watched YouTube for a while and the characters that do YouTube, have you seen when and it usually happens to people in their 20s, 30s, it's like I've said before, you almost got to get to almost 40 before your karmic tray is like shown to you. You see everything inside you, all your vasanas, and nothing's hiding anymore. And that's if you have a really diligent spiritual practice. Look at Lahiri Mahashai. He didn't know anything really about awakening until he was over 30. And then he met Babaji, his guru. It takes time. This level, this dimension, slow. Anybody that comes here, even the avatars, you have to absorb some collective conditioning, otherwise you can't be here. Well, collective conditioning makes you asleep. It means if they didn't have any personal karma and they already worked that out, they're going to absorb some collective karma to help humanity. Well, they're sacrificing like themselves on a certain level because they're going to be asleep for a little bit. Then they got to reawaken. Yogananda says this is what happened to Jesus. Why didn't we hear? There was like 10 years or more that we can't account for. Yeah, he was training. He's probably in India. All right. So you see how I go off a little bit because this is, I don't know. So we're talking about life is suffering. People have, So people have this darkness, but they don't want to look at it. The YouTubers. You notice after a while, a lot of them, they fold or they crash. They hit some kind of bottom. They start acting weird. It's okay to be weird if you know you're being weird. See, I made a video. God made you weird, act it. That's not the title, but something like that. I own, we're all weird, but are you aware of your weirdness, your peculiarity of weirdness? I am, and I capitalize on it. It's fun. Because I don't care, what's the consequence? Somebody will say you're weird, I'll be like, yeah, man, I am. Weird, insane. When you're weird, insane, and you're watching the weirdness take place, you're cool. You're cool. Then you can play with it. You can accentuate the weirdness, you can back it down, you can do whatever you want. But so the YouTubers fold, they hit some bottom. They have some catharsis. See? Why? Because they were pretending. They were trying to... That stuff was already there, but they were ignoring it. They weren't in touch with it. Maybe because, I can't show this. I'm a spiritual person. I'm doing videos, and I'm doing satsangs and consults, and people think I'm awake. There's too much on the line. I can't admit this to myself. Well, yeah, but then life's going to make you do it anyway. And even then, they still deny it. And then it's hard to watch. It's like self-sabotage. They can't see that they're a bit insane. the ego won't allow them to see it. It justifies it. It says, no, it kicks in the Messiah complex. And no, I'm seeing things the way they are, but nobody else can see them. Anyway, this is why we have to, I made a video, I don't know if it's uploaded yet. Don't sweep the darkness under the carpet. You have to look at this darkness. That is going to be there. Positive affirmations, the Church of Religious Science, and telling yourself that nothing exists, that's not going to do anything. But that's also, like what to do. That's a stage that we got to pass through to see that it doesn't do anything. Some are in that stage or season longer than others. But this is this journey, man. So, Buddha said life is suffering because it is, isn't it? For one who's really been touched to embark on this most arduous journey of self-realization is harder than anything. Harder than trying out for the Olympics, harder, because this is a psychic, inner, from your deepest core, you're transforming on that level. It's not just about gains on a physical level. I need to train harder so I can do that. Yeah, that's hard. And it's mental also. This is deeper than all that. When you start transforming on a deepest spiritual level, all this little karma and vasanas and sanskaras are going to come up. And then there's going to be resistance to it because that's what we do. The mind denies it. And then that burning is going to start, that alchemy, that purification process. And then you're going to get to where you do accept it and you're like, okay, I want to change. That's not enough. You find you can't change. Like, oh man, I can't. Like, now what? And then the instinct again is to resist it. Let me go escape. Let me go get into some addiction or some habit or be in some loud, dopamine stimulating environment. Let me check out from this for a while. Let me look at the internet. Right. You look at that thing 24 hours a day. It constantly gets stimulated. See? Because we're programmed deep to avoid discomfort. But God's grace makes us at some point, we can't do that anymore. We have to face it. There's just no choice. And a sense of humility enters us that we didn't have before. We don't care anymore with the family or the friends or the people or the YouTube audience. We don't care anymore. Our life has become more important than all these cares that the ego used to bring up to make us push down our darkness. So once you go turn that corner, yeah, man, hold on. I mean, Buddha, this was a pretty awake person. You look at a lot of his teachings. He's not lying. Like, life is suffering. Somehow, when you accept that, when you see that, and then it might be revealed to you that there's a higher reason for this stuff. Once you're free, Emmett Fox said this, I think. Yeah. Once you can't lose what you gain in consciousness. You can't. You're going to lose your money and your girlfriend and your jewelry, and you're going to lose your gains. You're going to lose all that. That's not going to matter. When you leave the body, none of that matters. All that matters is your level of consciousness. And then that determines where you go from there and everything else. So that you don't lose. So when you're free of something, on the deepest level, on a causal level, you've just accomplished, that's an eternal accomplishment. And you don't lose it. So, yeah, there's going to be some grind going through that. But as you become more purified, your perception is on a higher vantage point where you see, you're like, no, this is worth it, man. This is worth it. Let me go through the grind for a bit to have eternal freedom, because that's the way it is. Intuitively, when you get that data, that knowledge from inside, it's much stronger than if just somebody's telling you. Now, it might help me saying that if some of you already, you kind of on the fence, somehow the intuition's trying to tell you that, but the mind kind of subdues it. Then when somebody is speaking it, it like blasts these mental constructs of denial, and then you're like, then you feel grateful for the person. You're like, thank you, man. Yeah, it's your own higher self that just told you that. Good. So don't run from the suffering, accept it, check in, let intuition guide you, pray and ask, and be open. How can I manage? How can I navigate this really uncomfortable, troublesome karma that's coming up, that's giving me anxiety and catharsis and just making my life seemingly hell? Like, God, can you show me something, what to do? Forget all techniques, forget everything. Just be open as best as you can and ask, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? Okay, if there's nothing I can do, show me how to be with this thing. Because I don't have the strength to do it. The more humility you acquire, which everybody will, because life beats it out of us, this humanity, then you notice, you get downloads, and you can feel the presence of this universal power more easily. But this humility, a lot of us have to suffer together. So that's part of the deal. Accept that. This is something most can't do. They want to avoid the suffering. So then they watch teachers who tell you, you're already awake, my beautiful unicorn. Just be who you already are. And then they like the ego likes that. Can you stroke me off a little more? Yeah, but that doesn't last. You know? I like my audience here. I'm attracting the higher level people who already know that don't work. Yeah, so good. We have a live stream. Good, I remember. A lot of times I forget. I gotta make another video. We have a live stream next Sunday. So everybody's welcome to come to that. And then the following Sunday after that, we'll have a satsang. But I'll post this, I think, in the community. And I'll put it in the description also. Yeah, it's all good. All right.